Sorry, I decided to do a little bit of a different antic today. I'm fine, by the way. I just decided to try to do something a little different of me. Unfortunately, my brain does not know when to let something go, even when it's unhealthy and when there's clearly a better alternative on how to handle things like this. Yes, I went back and did some more marathon and arc raider stuff, and guess what? I made more mistakes and more mistakes, and it just compounded into this, where I went to my isolation chamber into space because lots of reasons. This was originally going to be in a System Shock thing, but I felt it was a bit too personal, so I decided to do something different. No, it's funny that I'm here. Here's where it starts. Okay, brain. Ease it in. Sorry, this could be a little, I'm not going to say dramatic, but a bit oversharing. This is why I considered it not fitting for System Shock, but more for something like this, which is a little more sensitive. So when I was a wee teenage yapper, I had this same problem. What was that? Well, there was a lot of similar problems. Where do I start? Well, why don't we talk about the one that matches this situation? Right. So when I was a wee yapper, after I was done with classes, this was like junior and senior year, I had time to myself. Why did I have time to myself? Well, I like to daydream a lot. I like to get lost in my own little world, my own little fantasies and stuff like this. But most importantly, I realize now that I needed a bit of time away for recovery, let's say that. And one of my... It's sad to say this, because I don't know how else to explain it. One of my, like, you know, when people are like, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to achieve? What's your big goal in life? My goal in my teenage self was to do this. What is this that I'm describing? To get away from everything. Basically, I wanted them to just take my carcass, because I didn't want to actually go out into space like this, but like basically take my carcass, throw it into a rocket, launch it into space, and just boop, bye, so long, never gonna see you again. Why did I do that? I don't mean like why did I have that reaction. I mean like why did my younger self do that? It thought this was the healthiest thing to do at the time. Mistakes were made. Lots of mistakes. It was more so born from self-doubting and thinking things like, why did I make this stupid mistake? Why did I make this kind of grade? I should have got a better grade. Man, I should have done so much better on this thing. Why did you make this mistake? Oh my goodness, don't you feel embarrassed? Why didn't you do this in conversation? Why didn't you have this kind of conversation with someone? My goodness, why can't you just talk like a normal person? Why can't you just be normal? So my solution at the time was to, I guess, jettison my rear posterior into space and I guess deal with it there. Why space, of all things? Lots of reasons. One, it's peaceful. I know you can't see it because the screen isn't quite showing. I don't want to change the whole camera process. But all around me are gaseous clouds of stardust called nebulae. I know the plural is singular is nebula, plural is nebulae. We'll worry about semantics later on, you know, grammar and all that English nonsense. Let's talk about space stuff. That's what I'm trying to talk about. In my mind, the idea was to get myself away from everyone and everything that could ever have a connection or sort of attachment to me when I was younger. That's what I thought was the healthiest thing to do. Only because I thought I was a failure. I thought I was not worth anything, or I would do anything the right way, or do it the correct way, or to say and do the things that people normally do when they do stuff like this. So I thought, just get away from everyone, get away from everything. That will solve the problem. Fat load that did. It did feel nice at the time, but for the wrong reasons. So why did I indulge in this thing? Hold on, I wasn't done my start stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep your stupid start. So like I was saying, my younger self thought, oh, space, it never changes. It's a constant empty void away from everything. There's no connections. There's nothing here but empty space. It's quiet. It's emotionless. It's cold. It's just space. Quiet. Emotionless. Uncaring to everything microscopic in this grand cosmos all around us. And funnily enough, do you know what all this star stuff around us is? This is billions of stars combusting and exploding and like shrapnel everywhere, and it's been cascading for light years until some amorphous cloud brings it all together and gravity compresses that into like the heat and pressure, and then one day, bam, right there, you get a star born. My younger self thought that empty space was just like, it's like I was saying, empty space. I thought it was like a place where no connections, no one can touch you, there's no interactions. It's basically everyone's away from me and everything. But I was wrong at the time. The universe, in all big things and small, has little funny cascade effects. Some you can't see. Some take time to percolate, as my aunt would say. And some, they're just easier to just appreciate from a distance. And then with time, you watch those connections form and grow. Right, so why did I come back here and relive this childhood, or not childhood, but teenage self-inflicted memory? My younger self looked at this idea, this goal in life of being thrown away like a piece of trash in space, as like something to aspire to only because it was a solution to get away from my problems. And it had so much self-doubt packed into it. And it never amounted to anything. All that self-doubt, it never made a star. It never made anything worthwhile of that. And so I came back here. And you know what? It still feels nice being out here. Middle of nowhere. It's peaceful. But unlike before, there's some part of me knowing there's a lot of people back home and people I associate on the daily that I sometimes forget to keep touch with because I'm terrible with social obligations and such. And I'm a people pleaser and I say yes to everything and lots of reasons. Let's not dwell on that. Point is, it's nice to take a step back because I know part of my brain wants to appreciate all that I have around me. And those who matter to me too. I apologize if I made this super awkward, by the way. This is why I thought this was not fitting for System Shock. It was too deep of a topic point. But I wanted to yap about it. I feel better about it. It just feels nice just to dwell on happier thoughts of even my, worst times. It is pretty being out here. That part my brain back then was correct about. This is a pretty sight. And if I have to be alone for however long, even if it's like in the middle of the... My brain was thinking at the time, like, if you go in space, you're basically like mummified, so you basically are preserved. Because I was like thinking about other things. It's a big, rambling thought, I know. But like my thought was, if I could spend the cosmos, spend the rest of my evenings for the rest of eternity staring at the cosmos, getting away from everything and everyone, that wouldn't be such a bad thing. And I kind of do agree with that. It's not a bad thing. But it's also nice knowing at some point when the Earth implodes or when the sun explodes and vaporizes everyone, 5.6 billion years from now, all that fun, wonderful talking point, in that moment where I'm yapping like this, there are people who actually do care about me. And that's what really matters the most. Even when all smithereens, it's going to be gone in the near future, far future. Heck, it could happen tomorrow for all I know. I could just get by a truck or something. It's important to think about the happier times for the moment, not those kind of thoughts. But yeah, that's what I wanted to yap about. This was far too oversharing. I apologize, but at the same time, I feel like I needed to do this. This was feeling good. Oh, and my yapper brain wanted to do one thing. One thing. Just one. All right, brain, I'm letting you take the wheel on this one. Do your stupid thing that you want to do. Make you feel better. All right, I think I'm in the clear to do this because I once asked Pepper Coyote, that's the artist by the way, if I could use his song for a video a long time ago, and he's very generous, so I think he's gonna be okay with this. I think he's gonna get the spirit for this song. All right, let's take it away, Yapper. Go do your stupid antic. You earn it. For when I die and when I'm ashes, and no more songs I can repeat, whoever singing at my funeral had better learn to move their feet. 'Cause when I die right around 40, and when my fuse has reached its end, you'd best believe, well, I'll be drinking. Now don't ask why, but maybe when. Some people croak and then everybody chokes on bitter tears. Oh Lord, why he had to go. But when I stroll, I think we'll all probably know that I was doing it time. I mean, you can't live that hot for long. So when I die and when I'm buried, come watch me sink into the ground. Forget the dirt, just drain a bottle. And if they ask, just say I drowned. For when I die and when it's over, and all my friends are left behind, I wouldn't doubt that they'll be jealous. They'll have to do more work than I. Some people croak and then everyone chokes on bitter tears. Oh Lord, why he had to go. But when I stroll, I think we'll all probably know that I was doing it time. I mean, you can't live that hot for long. So when I die and when I'm sober, there'll be more stories left to write. Take up my pen and get to scribbling. Puncture your silence, kill your fright. For when I die, for when I die, for when I die, for when I die, I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. No, no, I don't want, hey, stop that. Ruin the mood. I mean, it's a good song, but it's not the time and place for hey, yay, 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 yay. Sorry, I made that awkward. I may have overdone enough. You think, brain? We're fine. We're fine. Yeah, there we go. Perfect transition. All right. I think I can see everything. It might take a moment for the chat thing to open up for me. Give me a moment. Look, I couldn't trust myself to do this without like somehow making some kind of issue or error along this way. So I did myself a favor. I did all that work for the beginning. You're welcome, brain. And everything's encoding wrong. Great. Okay, I may have to think of a different solution here. Okay, don't panic. This is why we did do this live, right? Yes, that's why we didn't do it live. Okay, fine. Okay, I think it's working. I closed all the windows, right? I think I did. Oh, oh. Give VR a moment. Just give it a moment. All right, that's why I have it plugged in, right? Yep. Okay. All right.